Some would contend that the current state of the global economy is unprecedented. Banks have been failing, even major institutions like Silicon Valley Bank, and right now, it appears like the US dollar is losing ground. Given that the US dollar is, or once was, the most powerful currency in the world, its collapse would undoubtedly have a significant negative impact on the global economy. But how precisely would Shiba Inu be impacted by that? What impact will it have on the SHI stablecoin, which is still under development? In the video we'll be talking about today, that is. So be sure to continue to look. Disclaimer, the US dollar is falling. Let's get right to it. According to economists, the US dollar has been slowly declining over time. The US dollar would have lost a significant portion of its value at some point in the near future, even though it might not exactly suffer a major hit one day. Given that the US is essentially a powerhouse, few people presumably anticipated that its currency would depreciate. But it's undeniably the case, and it hasn't just begun. It appears that the dollar's worth has been declining since the late 1970s. Inflation in the US almost soared during this time, and central banks throughout the world began to lose some faith in the dollar and cut back on the quantity of US dollars they were holding in reserve. These central banks were weary even in the 1980s when conditions in the US began to improve. As a result, by the 1990s, the US dollar had decreased to around 46% of world reserves from its 1970s high of 85%. Banks and common people looked for other things to use as a store of value during this time, and a lot of them touched down on gold. Since the dollar is once again on the decline, people would probably be looking for something else to hold on to since gold served as a hedge against the dollar's demise. One of those things might be gold, but so might cryptocurrency. The choice by several nations to stop using the US dollar has made this reality even more evident. China is at the center of this movement and has already agreed to stop accepting US dollars as payment for services with a number of nations, including Brazil. This suggests that in the coming years, the US's slide may quicken, which may encourage more individuals to invest in cryptocurrencies. In order to counter the dollar's collapse, numerous central banks throughout the world have already started to stockpile gold. It is possible that soon, fiat countries may be replaced by gold, which is slowly rising in their reserves. Either that, or these central banks might begin to favor cryptocurrencies given that they are unrelated to any economy and should be immune to any problems any nation may be experiencing. However, it goes beyond central banks alone. How might Shiba Inus be affected? Regular people will surely start looking to cryptocurrency as a safe haven since their confidence in the banking system and the economy has been eroding. SHIB is also a fantastic option right now. First of all, the Shiba Inu ecosystem has been constantly growing and expanding, drawing in people who may not have been familiar with cryptocurrencies. Imagine going into a restaurant to eat and finding SHIB logos everywhere. You would undoubtedly be fascinated if you didn't know much about crypto or SHIB, which is exactly what has been happening. SHIB has become highly popular and is attracting the attention of everyday people with its numerous worthwhile projects. And it appears that all of these projects couldn't have arrived at a better moment given the state of the economy. SHIB is a popular cryptocurrency that is now very affordable above everything else. SHIB ranks in the top 20 cryptocurrencies by market cap, but it is completely free. SHIB appears to be one of the finest, if not the best, option right now for anyone wishing to invest in cryptocurrencies as a means of protecting their wealth and avoiding inflation. Don't you think so? SHIB's considerable position in the conventional sector is also advantageous. That is, a lot of well-known companies now take SHIB as payment, which would indicate to consumers that SHIB is valuable enough to store and hoard. After all, you may buy a variety of items using SHIB, from food to houses. As a result, many people would be more inclined to join SHIB if they knew they could actually utilize the token there. In conclusion, despite the fact that the US dollar's decline would be disastrous for the economy, it doesn't have to be. If humans let it, cryptocurrencies, in particular SHIB, could save the day. And given that China and a number of other nations have decided to stop doing business with the dollar, this decrease in the value of the dollar doesn't appear to be stopping anytime soon, so it appears that we have no alternative. Now, if people really do decide that SHIB is the best option for them, that would be great for them, because it would mean that they would be safeguarding their wealth regardless of what the economy does. But more importantly than that is the fact that those who have been SHIB holders for a long time would undoubtedly profit from the influx of newcomers. If all those new users commit to burning SHIB, the token may even reach the 1 cent milestone. Having said that, SHIB does not necessarily need the new members to sign on before we can witness its ascent to the moon. Normally, the massive flood of new users into the ecosystem would be sufficient to boost the token's price. In addition to that, you must keep in mind that every single Shiba Inu project has been created with the intention of burning SHIB. Therefore, just the fact that these projects are being used by hundreds of thousands of people is significant. What about the SHIB stablecoin? Would boost the price of SHIB by raising burns. And if this occurs, we might witness a fresh group of individuals become millionaires or perhaps billionaires thanks to SHIB. How does this affect you? Should you think about entering SHIB right away before the rush starts? Well, that's up to you to decide. Don't take this as financial advice. Do your own research instead. Before we end the day here, one last thing. Shiba Inu tokens, other than the SHIB, could also gain from a drop in the US dollar's value. Due to their functions in the Shiba Inu ecosystem, the other Shiba Inu tokens, Leash and Bone, would also profit. One Shiba Inu token, the SHI stablecoin, which is currently under development, may actually suffer as a result of the US dollar's collapse. Now, if you are familiar with stablecoins, you are aware that investors favor them because they are thought to be less volatile than cryptocurrencies. So those who are interested in cryptocurrency but are hesitant to do so due to its wild volatility because it is unrelated to any one economy or government, usually invest in stablecoins. Additionally, because stablecoins are pegged to a fiat currency, typically the dollar, they are less volatile than regular cryptocurrencies. Stablecoins have benefited from this, although SHI and other stablecoins would lose value as the value of the dollar fell. They would continue to be tied to the dollar, retaining the dollar's worth, which may not be very high in comparison to other currencies. However, since SHI has not yet gone live, the Shiba Inu development team still has time to adjust their strategy. Conclusion: we'll be fine if they merely peg the debut of SHI to a more stable currency rather than canceling it. Which fiscal currency would you advise the Shiba Inu development team to use in this situation? Finally, even though many people may have been concerned and even a little irritated that the development team teased SHI but has not yet launched it, it appears that their concerns were justified. They could catch up to the curve if they play their cards well because of the wait. We just have to have faith in them to carry it through.